Hi everyone, I am Rashi. I'm a tarot reader, I am an astrologer, and welcome to my channel Manifest Your Quest. I am a manifestation and a performance coach. And today I've got someone very, very special before us. And that person is going to let out wonderful secrets on manifestation because that person is a master of manifestation. She is from California. Her name is Cynthia Toet. She's a wonderful and a renowned tarot reader. She is a happiness flipping life cheerleader, happiness coach. She's a Gypsy Medicine Woman. She has a wonderful YouTube channel. She has a podcast channel as well. And you know what, guys? Cynthia Toet is today here with us, and she will be answering all my questions, revealing all the secrets of her life, of manifestation, and a lot more. So let's not delay this meeting and let me introduce you all. Hi, Cynthia. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful today.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you so much for coming here on my channel, Manifest Your Quest, to share with my viewers wonderful secrets on manifestation.
I'm happy to be here to share my quest with you, with my journey, and to help others be able to manifest their quest.
That's wonderful, dear. That's wonderful. And without any delay, let me ask the one question I keep asking all my guests here. How do you describe yourself, Cynthia? Do you describe yourself in a song or do you describe yourself in a quote? How do you?
I probably, if I were to describe myself in a song, it would be happy. The Be Happy song, you turn that on, you got me going. If you want to describe myself in another song, is you got yourself a life cheerleader. You got yourself a cheerleader. And the other song that you would describe me as is a different kind of love, because the way I love is totally different than what our perception is of love.
That's awesome, dear. That's absolutely amazing. And I would like to know, you have seen, you believe that, what I know about you, Cynthia, that you believe that life is all about ups and downs. So tell me more about your journey up here.
I believe the journey is really up, and we do have some downs that happen. And when those downs that happen, it's our job to raise ourselves back up. So like when I was a child, that's before I ever went to school, we operate from that childlike mind, and we go ahead and we do because it's like, that's the next thing we're supposed to do. And that keeps us at our higher vibrational level. And when I went to school and everything, that's when all the no's came in, and you can't do this, and you're not supposed to do that. And so a lot of that got like hushed up and put into a box, and you can't be who you are. See, my throat's even getting like chalked up because it's talking about those times I wasn't allowed to speak. And when I was like 19, I was in a room of a group of people, like, I don't know, there was 10 10, 12, maybe 13 people in the room, and they were sitting around in a circle, and they go, the most successful person in this room is Cynthia. And I looked at them like in shock, because I thought I was in that box that nobody heard me. And so I asked them, why do you think that? And they go, because you know how to take our stories that we're telling us, and you give us this better story in life that lifts our spirits up. In fact, they told me I should be a counselor or a psychologist at that time. And I said, oh, I'm not giving my gift away, because I would felt like after schooling, if I were to go into that field, that it would box my voice up again, and I wasn't ready to do that. It still took me a long time to get my voice to come out, many years for my true voice to come out. But when I was working in places, my voice would always shine. But when I was at home, that would seem like that's where my voice would lock up. I got married. I had a wonderful marriage. I had a child, wonderful child. And a couple years later, I got fibromyalgia. That's a disabling disease. It's like you go from go to, you go to confusion, you go to a state of confusion, you go to
fibromyalgia. Is it the face one, the one with a nerve disorder on the face? Is that it?
No,
Okay.
no, fibromyalgia has to do with the emotional self.
Okay.
They don't tell you that. I mean, I went to many doctors and was given many different medications, try this and try that, and nothing ever worked. If anything, it covered up the illness. And they can't even really test it. But what it does is that, like, I would get up in the morning before, when I was working and before fibromyalgia, I get up, I get dressed, I get ready to go, and boom, 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 and I keep everything on time. But now I get up, and sometimes it takes me 3 hours to get dressed, because your mind and your body are not working together. They're out of sync, because they come to a crashing point. They come to they're in disagreements. Your mind is saying, I got to do this, I got to do that, and you got to do this. And your body's saying, oh, no, you don't. And it took me 15 years to actually find my own story within myself by reading a book back in the 1800s that told me about women that had fibromyalgia back then, and what had actually caused it was exactly what I said. They're living a life that's not serving their purpose. Meaning that, like the way I was living my life as what I thought a mom should be and what I thought a wife should be, come to a crashing point, because I couldn't keep up with my own expectations of myself. And not knowing that that's what had happened. 15 years later, I'm reading this in the book, and I'm going, oh, I need to flip my own story around, because that's what I did for everybody else. I need to do this for myself. And so I started rewriting my what I was telling myself, like how hard it was to get up. I would say, no, this is simple. This is easy. I can lay out my clothes the night before and make it so I can get up, or whatever. Or, when I couldn't get the dishes done, I said, okay, I can just hire a maid to do the dishes for me. It's no big deal. I don't have to be the one that's responsible for doing everything. Because I was working, I didn't have my child until I was 40. And so I was working. And then I got to the point I couldn't do it all. I couldn't be all the masters. I couldn't be all my own masters. And so I had to
That is absolutely okay. Perhaps you understood that later, right? That it is absolutely okay for that, right?
Yes.
Please continue. Please continue.
So anyhow, through after I read the book written in the 1800s, I don't remember the title. I wish I did. I don't even have the book anymore, because life happens. But what I did was I got the message, and the message was to apply what I already knew how to do, what I had already been doing for everybody else. All the jobs that I had and all the places I've been, where all the people said, how I knew how to flip their story around, that it was time for me to utilize my own skills on me.
That's exceptional. Yes.
That started about, let's see, about 5 years ago, I started on that journey. Back then I was sleeping 16, 18-hour days. And today I sleep 6 or 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But that's remarkable that you were able to flip yourself around, because what I understand, Cynthia, once you get into an inertia, a motion of inertia, that you want to stay in that state, right? And it's very difficult to come out of it. Now you have changed yourself. It's absolutely remarkable, splendid, in fact. It's absolutely magnificent that you have been able to flip yourself around. You have been flipping people's life around. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
Yay. The fibromyalgia it's a lifelong illness. You don't ever get rid of it. What I've done is I've made it go dormant. And so it is a pause to me, because when you go out there to the real world and you talk to this about people that have fibromyalgia, they don't see hope.
Okay. You are a living example to them today.
Yes.
Right? That's so wonderful. I'm sure that people who have that today take you as an example, and it must be such a wonderful thing to live by example, and it's such a wonderful, such a superb thing to do for others, not only for yourself.
It's so cool because of the fact that it puts validity into yourself, because it let me know that what I'm doing really works.
Absolutely. So uplifting. So it must be so uplifting, not only every day of your life, like you have lived yesterday, day before yesterday, as an exceptional person. And every day you are actually doing that, not only for yourself, but you are living an example for others as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is awesome, because it let me stand into my power,
That's wonderful, dear. That's wonderful. I want to clap for you once again. A huge clap. If I had an audience, I would have asked them, and I would ask my viewers, please, please, please. I hope you all understand and you all feel that way for Cynthia, what I am feeling. I'm sure that you all feel connected to her as well, right? Even you feel like clapping for
her. They ought to.
Okay, Cynthia, I want to know this, the happiness coach that you are, the tarot reader, the Gypsy Medicine Woman that you are today. You're doing so much on podcast, on YouTube. Tell me, is it by default, or was it by choice, or is it like just happened to you and you just went about doing it?
I think it's both, because one, I'm being truly, honestly being myself. So that's the default. But the design is me actually having fibromyalgia, and now let me actually see how my stuff really works. And it's like, it let me actually design myself as I'm getting well. I'm going, I want to share my wellness to the world,
Oh, wow. Isn't it amazing? That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Now, I want to know something, dear. Tell me, what do you find most interesting, most enriching in your life?
Really, to be honest with you, is flipping those emotional feelings around so they're better, whether it's for me or for someone else. That is so enriching for myself, to be able to do that for myself, to be able to flip my emotional self around so much that I deeply and completely love myself so much that all I want to do is share that back out to the world. And that enriches me, is knowing that it works. So yes.
That's guys, viewers, I would like to take that comment as an example. Not only as an example, it's a very important thing what Cynthia just told us. Flipping your emotions, how important it is, and how important it is to turn your life around. If you're able to do that, if Cynthia is able to do it, why can't we do it? And if we are doing it, she's a living example of that. And once you do it, guys, you will see, when, especially during these times of pandemic, when we come across such nasty news,
energy,
and such negative energy. It is like killing us at times. I'm telling you guys, this is what you need to do, what Cynthia is telling us. You need to take it around. Flip it! Quickly flip it, isn't it, Cynthia?
That's it. That's it. And there's actually an art to what I do, because when it's that lower emotional feeling that we're talking about, whether it's sadness or rather it's grief that we kind of touched about a little bit earlier, it is about how we perceive what that emotion is today. And actually what I do is I find a new meaning to the grieving or to the sadness that lightens the load, so it's not so heavy, so it's not taking us under. But actually when I get sad, I know that I'm going to live through it. I'm not going to stay in it. Or like when I start grieving I know I'm going to live through it and I'm going to pull myself out of it. But there's a lighter load, so we're not carrying a ton of bricks behind us. We only got one or two now.
Guys, have you noticed very important few things that Cynthia has just given out? The secrets on manifestation. Maybe she did not realize it, but she has actually given out those secrets of vibrations, of feeling. When we are sad, we feel heaviness, we feel loaded. And when we are happy, we feel lighter. So we need to understand when we need to be lighter or a high vibration, and we need to be away from that heavy loaded feeling. How can we flip it? So I'm going to ask now Cynthia about manifestation, about staying in good vibration. How does she do it? And how does she ask her viewers or her clients to do it? Or how does she, give out these secrets? So firstly, about manifestation, if you can tell us a little about manifestation, Cynthia, about your view on manifestation.
It's really falling deeply and completely in love with who you are and knowing what it is that you want to attract into your life, to be able to flip that story around to manifest it. If I'm going to stay in that lower vibrational feeling and keep thinking about how bad I feel or how sick I am, that's what I'm going to attract. That's exactly what I'm going to manifest. But if I start saying, hey, I got this illness or I got this sickness, universe, still please show me the way to what is it that I need to do, say, act, or behave to lighten this load, so I can live a happier life, so I can actually fall back in love with who I am instead of carrying this heavy load. Just show me these easier ways. Help me flip my own story around. So pretty much I really leave it to the universe. Each client's a little different. It depends on what they're talking about and what their story is, because when they bring their story in, they all have a different heaviness. Maybe one person's sadness is just, I only have to remove 1 or 2 bricks, but another person's sadness, I might have to remove 20 or 30 bricks for them to figure out how to lighten that load. So when sadness comes, it's not taking our breath away, that it's just a part of life. And that is our growing tool. It's like when my vibration level gets lowered, I go, oh, well, thank you for showing me that this is still my weak spot. I mean, I giggle at it, I laugh at it, I smile at it. So right there, just doing that right there lightens the load, because I didn't surrender to it.
Very true, very true, and so simply said. So you have explained it so beautifully and in such simple terms. I'm sure my viewers would be like, "Oh my God, isn't that simple? Isn't that easy?" And yes, guys, it is all that easy, and it is that simple. That's beautiful, Cynthia. That's absolutely beautiful the way you explained.
It's that simple. It's that easy. It is a work of art, though. It's still something that we have to invest our time and energy in to actually lighten that load. It's not like, oh, it's that simple, I can just think this and just that'll happen. No, you have to believe in your thinking process for it to actually take place, because I can tell you all you want to how easy this is and how to flip that story like that, but if you do not believe it, if you doubt it, if you this is too much, I tell you what, that doubt will definitely override the trust, because you believe in that doubt more than you believe in the trust.
Very true. Very true. If there is even 1% of the doubt coming in, Cynthia, do you think we will be able to manifest? Is it like, do you think even that 1%? Very true. So, guys, Cynthia definitely is really revealing so much of secrets here, and we need to take in as much as possible from her. Even an ounce of doubt, even a milligram of doubt, even a little of doubt will take away all the manifestation from you.
Correct.
So we need to understand, if we want to manifest, you need to believe it with every millicell, every cell of your body, every, iron of your being, that you are going to have it. You have to believe in it. Isn't it, Cynthia? Is that what you are trying to tell?
You have to believe in it. If I have, like you said, just a little bit of doubt, that doubt is heavy. So that's why it outweighs the belief. It's like, oh yeah, I believe her. Yeah, but I got this little doubt going on over here. Oh, no, you just filled that bucket up. That meant you took away from what you believed and you filled it up into the doubt because you started feeding back into that. So we really have to watch our lower vibrational feelings. Life is simple. We either are vibrating at a high level or a low level or a neutral. Neutral is really the best because you don't have to, I don't have to be high all the time, because that can get, being high all the time like that, energetically high, can wipe you out too. So it is about finding a balance between the two.
It's awesome. So much of learning from you, dear Cynthia. So much to learn. So now I'm going to ask you, Cynthia, tell me, what all have you been able to manifest since your childhood? As a child that you wanted and you have been able to manifest. And what is it like? How did you find all the manifestations? How, like, I used to feel, oh my God, did I manifest? Did you feel all that awe when you were manifesting those things?
Really, I just can go into what's going on for me right now. I mean, being a child was a long time ago, but what I can say is, like, I know the information that I have right now is I wanted to share to a bigger audience, and I'm going, where's my bigger audience? I'm putting all this stuff out online, and I'm putting all this stuff on YouTube, and I'm putting all this stuff on podcasts, but it's still about getting the people to come into those stations to be able to see what it is that I'm offering out there to the world, because what I'm offering is free. I mean, there are some paid services, but what's out there is free, but to still bring the audience in. So, my manifestation is wanting to bring a larger audience. Well, what happened about a month ago, after I put that down on paper, let me bring in a bigger audience, I had the 5-day training with Coach to Fortune, and they have 2,000 people on the screen, and they called my name. And I got to speak for 3 to 5 minutes, and I watched 80% of the people transform their, really? I can do this? Oh, how cool. I can do this? I gave them, I watched the screen transform from being doubtful to being lackful, from being disappointed with life to giving them hope, giving them belief, giving them, you were born and you were born with a purpose, and go ahead and live your purpose. We have a voice to speak. We're given a voice to speak. Go ahead and speak your voice, because if you don't speak it, you can't really live your purpose, and we can't go forward. You have to trust and believe in yourself. So that's my biggest thing that's happened, and it's happened in the last within the last 6 weeks. That all just happened. It's like, and that's what I have now. What's happened since then, I'm getting a bigger audience. People are connecting with me more, and they're excited, they're elated, and they're just like,
oh my God, isn't it amazing, guys? This is incredible. You wrote it down that you want a bigger
realizing I didn't realize that they were going to put me in front of all 2,000 people. And I didn't realize how effective what I had to say to them was going to touch them, which just empowered.
I truly feel like, its manifestation is like, when you were talking about it, I was having goosebumps. I was literally having goosebumps. You wrote it down, and within a few weeks, you had, a huge, especially during this time of pandemic, where will you get such an audience? And it was such a, you asked for something which is not very easy to get, and you got it. You got it. You got it.
It's crazy because I had no idea. How was I going to get 2,000 people on an audience all at one time?
How to give it to you. You asked for it and you got it. Like, it's so amazing. This is so amazing. So universe is always in a giving mode. We should know how to receive it. We should know how to actually attract it and how to manifest it. So Cynthia, I'm so happy that today I am actually asking you all this, and you're telling me all the answers, those wonderful answers.
Write down what you want. And a lot of times we don't write it down. We think about it. Oh, okay, I know what I want. But then you didn't write it down, and somehow the universe goes, well, you didn't write it down for me. You sure you know what you want? So it wants you to write it down. In fact, I think it was just 2 weeks ago, I had written down 3 things in my book of what I wanted. And I totally walked away and forgot that I wrote it down, right? And then the next night I'm sitting here at my computer and I'm going through my book and I'm looking, I'm going, oh, I got that. Oh, I got that. I got that. They all 3 were fulfilled. It was like, oh.
Isn't that amazing? That's incredible. And it happens all the time. The point is, we do not realize it. And you know what, Cynthia? I'm going to show this video to all my friends who, perhaps take me for granted. The thing is, I'm a tarot reader. And when I tell them, do this, they'll be like, okay, yes, we'll do it. I'm going to do it. But they don't do it. But today, when I have someone telling me, and, you are actually re-emphasizing all those things which I have been telling all those people, they are going to follow it. And you're telling them through their stories. You're telling them through your real life stories. So it is even more powerful, I can totally understand that.
Yay!
Seriously, that's so wonderful. And love your manifestation story, dear. Now tell me, Cynthia, I want to know, has persistence played a role for you when you have been trying to manifest in your life?
Well, sure. Being persistent, it's been me taking my baby steps to create my webpage, which is my name, CynthiaToet.com. It's me being persistent that's created my YouTube channel, which is Gypsy Medicine Woman. And the reason why it's Gypsy Medicine Woman is because that was my first deck of cards. But truly, it's because I travel around like a gypsy on a medicine woman calling. Because wherever I end up going, someone always needs this medicine woman. And sometimes I'll go, okay, I tell my friend, okay, we're supposed to go to like San Diego. Okay. And they go, okay, let's go. And I go, well, I got a calling there. And they go, well, who's you calling? I go, I don't know. And they go, well, how are you supposed to find the person? I go, I don't know. I just know I'm supposed to go to San Diego. So let's go. And they go, okay, well, let's go. And then we go and we're just doing our thing. And she goes, well, where's this person? I go, I don't know. They haven't shown up yet. I go, I tell you what, when they show up, we're going to know. So that night we go to dinner and we're eating dinner. And it was the waitress that came to the table. That was the person that was the calling. And so all of a sudden they come to the table and I start doing my medicine woman stuff. And then she turned around and left, and she came back many times, not because she was waiting on us, because she wanted to hear what she needed to hear from me. And then my friend goes, how did you know, Cynthia? I go, because I listened to the call and it told me to show up and I'm here. I go, now it was for the person to show up, and they did, and they had to be open to the calling, and they were. So, and that was like a 350-mile trip. So a 700-mile round trip for me to make that calling. I just showed up because I knew I was supposed to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's like following what your heart is saying, right?
Okay, yes, and so and next with the question you asked with the persistence is like and that's how I got my podcast show going, which is called FlipN Feels. And the reason why I do FlipN Feels is because I'm taking the emotional feeling that we have that's pulling us under, and I bring a way to flipping it around. And that was actually suggested by a teenager that I had been helping. They go, you need to be having a podcast show. And so it was that teenager that gave me the idea. So I started putting some of my stuff on Anchor on a podcast show, which is called FlipN Feels. That's flip, like FLIP, then the letter N and Feels. And you can find that channel there. So, and then my happiness coaching program, which is FlipN Life Cheerleader, that all happened just because I'm persistent. Because after the fibromyalgia and get myself well, I knew that I had a calling. And so I've been persistent and taking baby steps to make this happen.
Wonderful. I love the way it's so remarkable, Cynthia, the way you have flipped your life around, isn't it? It's truly wonderful. And you are living an example. Not only that, my viewers here, yeah, I'm very sure they feel blessed when they are hearing you, what you have to say through your words and through your experiences. If they have something to take away from you, I'm sure they will be able to manifest the way you have been telling them to manifest.
It's to give them hope. This is their
Absolutely.
hope. You need a genie bottle? Here is your genie bottle, and it's full of hope.
And that hope, you need to flip around the sad feeling. You need to flip around the emotions. That is what Cynthia is all about. Flipping your heavy emotions to a lighter one, isn't it?
That's correct.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Cynthia, tell me about that particular, as you said about that girl, that teenage girl flipping. Why shouldn't you have a podcast? That girl told you about. So, were there this kind of a lot of eureka moments when you actually something sparked in you? Yes, I can do it. Yes, was there a series of those events that made you made you shift in the field that yes, I have to do something that like that, or was it like just one moment or something?
I've always known that I'm supposed to speak in a bigger voice and a bigger level. And it's just like I've never really gotten myself in front of a big enough audience or gotten my throat chakra opened up enough to be able to speak in a bigger audience. We could put it that way, because I've always like would listen to what other people have to say, and I would go into lack or doubt into my own self and my own stories. But then I learned to shut those voices down because they weren't serving my higher purpose. So did that answer our question?
Yes, it does. It does. And since what happens, Cynthia, what I was trying to question was, I understand that you know these things, right? But what happens, we are laid back. Like, I'll tell you what, I have been a tarot reader for last 15 years, but I have not been very proactive. Okay, fine. If my clients come, that's okay. It is now that I have actually taken it to a next level altogether, where I have this, energy, and I have this feeling of burning desire to help people in different aspects of life. So this came to me when someone told me that you need to go out and help people. There are so many people who need your help. So I felt that though I had this in me, but the realization, yes, I need to, I need to go about a purpose, that came to me slightly later.
Yeah, mine really, I believe it really happened after the fibromyalgia and I started pulling myself up, is I wasn't going to settle for less than whole and complete anymore, because I already lived 15 years of being less than whole and complete, and I'm done with that story. And so that's what stepped up my game, is like, okay, I'm getting well and I'm better and I'm able to operate. And I became aware of its two stories, the higher vibration or the lower vibration. Which story do I want to live in? I'm done with the lower vibration. And you can actually feel that energy shift. When I'm working in my higher vibration, I'm not tired, I'm not exhausted, I'm not fatigued, I'm ready to go. You can keep me going. It's like filling up the tank with gas and filling up the tank with gas and filling up the tank of gas. But when I'm in the lower vibration, it's like it sucked out that gas. I'm running on an empty tank. I'm running on an empty tank. And so those are two different vibrations. And we all know what they are, but we're so blind to it. It's like, I'm already stuck and I'm so tired, I can't do nothing. Well, if you're that tired and can't do anything, you are not living your life purpose. You are not living your life. You have actually surrendered to, I want to say death.
The lower vibrations, perhaps.
You surrendered to, you gave up your life by living in that lower vibration, filled by choosing to stay there.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do not realize it, but you know what? Today, when the world is in chaos, people are going through all this. And we need to do more of these interviews, more of these talks to tell people that, yes, it is possible to come up in a high state and be the best.
Yes. The world may be in the middle of chaos, but the world's always been in the middle of chaos. The world actually got still enough for us to flip our own story around. The world got still enough for us to see that something's out of balance. The world got still enough to see that we're able to flip our own stories around better.
Very true, very true. So true, dear. That isn't it mind-blowing that we here, when we are noticing everything today, earlier when everything was moving at a very fast pace, we were like we were like simply out of control. But today, when things are happening that way, we are actually taking a notice of what is happening. We are taking notice of everything, and we are in a different, the balance you were talking about, whatever you were talking about just now, it was still enough to actually take notice of things, of everything. That is so wonderful, dear. That's absolutely, it is so remarkable, actually.
This is the way I look at it, is when we were busy, we were so disconnected from who we are. We've been so disconnected from ourselves. When we got slow enough, this terrible time, this bad stuff that's happening to us. No, this is actually a wonderful time, because we got to pause long enough to reconnect to our inner self, so we can actually fall back in love with who we really are supposed to be.
Oh, beautifully said, dear. Absolutely beautifully said. Very beautifully said. And tell me, Cynthia. Tell me, Cynthia, about the eureka moment in your life. When did you find clarity in your life?
My eureka moment was actually when I discovered that I had my own answer with the fibromyalgia and what I needed to do with it, and how I found clarity with it. This was really a eureka moment for me, because it made me step into me being me. It made me step into my power. Why I got fibromyalgia is because I stopped living my story. I gave it up. I surrendered it. I had gotten married to someone that didn't believe in my tarot readings and didn't believe in my massage therapy. And so I tucked it away like it wasn't important. That's why I got sick. That's why I got fibromyalgia, because I tucked me away, the me that worked so hard to find out who I was. And I said, I'll just put it away to stay in this marriage, not knowing that I just gave a piece of my soul away, not knowing that I gave a piece of my life away by doing that. So when I found that book and I was able to find my answers, then I go, oh, I get it. I got to take off my outfit of being a mom. what I thought a mom was supposed to be. I got to take off my outfit of being a wife, what I thought a wife was supposed to be. And I'm going to put on my gypsy outfit because that's what I'm supposed to be. That's my answer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We normally, this is what we do, Cynthia. We have been trying to wear different kind of masks that we want. We're wearing those masks to become someone that we are not. And we're supposed to be. But we think that we're supposed to be. And in the process, what we're doing is we are inviting all kind of diseases. We are inviting all kind of problems to us. And that's wonderful when you said that. And today, when people are hearing my viewers, I'm sure they're getting some kind of message that you should go after your passion, for what you are, and not what people believe you to be. Become what you want to be, and not what your parents or your husband, your brother, or your teacher, or somebody else wants you to be. Right.
Or what my perception of what I thought a mom was supposed to be, or my perception of what I thought a wife was supposed to be, because it was the perception that I had in my DNA, that thinking I was supposed to operate this way, that made me sick.
Exactly. This is what happens. This is when we are mum, when we don't talk, there are many diseases that has come up, at a very early age, thyroid at a very early age. Then, there are fibroids in the uterus at a very early age. Why does all this happen? This is because of the reasons, that we believe, and we try wearing some kind of like you said, you were wearing a particular wife mask or an outfit. Something people do that all the time, and in the process, what they're doing is they're hiding their real self. They are actually restraining their real self, right?
You're giving your soul away.
Absolutely. And in the process, you are bringing out something which is not correct, which is not right. And in the process, you are disease. You are not in ease. You are dis-ease. That's why this disease comes up. Correct. What do you think about it, Cynthia? Isn't it?
Correct. 100% is because we're not living the person that we're supposed to be living, is why we're getting sick. If we are living our true passion and we're living with our true desires, there is no illness. The illness comes is because we are living this perceived dream that we have in our head. That's not really a dream, but it's perceived that we're supposed to operate a certain way. And once we change gears to operate in that way that we're really not supposed to be operating in, we start getting sick and we start getting these illnesses and diseases. But if we start going back into passion, go into desire, go into excitement, guess what? That disease can't touch you because you're at a higher vibration that it's going to run away from you because it can't live there no more.
Very true. Very true. Thank you so much, dear. It's wonderful, wonderful. I want to ask, this is just for my viewers, this question. When life throws a curveball at you, unprecedented scenarios, how do they deal with it? As a tarot reader, as a manifestation person, how would you ask them to deal with it?
Those curveballs are going to come. And when they come and my lower vibration starts to come in, the first thing I do is I thank the lower vibration for showing me that that's still a weak link within my inner self that I still need to deal with, that I still want to bring up to, I want to raise that higher vibration. So, and then that's what I do is like, just because I'm a happiness coach and I'm happy most of the time doesn't mean I don't have stuff thrown at me. It doesn't mean I don't have crap that I have to deal with, like we have the technical stuff that happened. All I do is smile inside because I know it's a challenge that's being gifted to me so I can fine tune it, so I can adjust it, so I can tweak it, so I can raise my higher vibration level up, so I can get that, so I can clean up that mess. It's like having I'm thinking a broom and a mop and I can clean it up. I can make it all nice and sparkly clean. And now that I dealt with that lower emotional feeling, I'm done with that. I won't ever have to go back to that same lower emotional feeling because of the way I deal with it.
That's very, very important what you have been telling us. it is simply superb that we need to understand what we are going through firstly. And when that is happening, you need to be very sure how you deal with it.
I just look at it as a gift when that lower vibration comes in. I'm going, well, thank you,
You need
universe,
to.
for showing this to me, because
The
I know
point
that's
is, you know what, Cynthia? People do not realize that they are actually going in a lower state.
I understand.
They need
We've
to be
lived in that.
aware.
We've
Yeah.
lived in that lower state most of our lives. 80 to 95% of our lives, we've lived in that lower state. So we become accustomed to that's the way life is. But if we can just flip that story around and become accustomed of the higher vibration being our story, then we all of a sudden go, oh, really? I could just do this? It could be just this simple?
This is so beautiful. And Cynthia, I did not. I wanted to talk about your, the tapestry at the back, the crystal ball, and the fairies that all the manifesting things that you have behind you. And I'm sure these are also one of the beautiful reasons fairies are helping you. The crystal balls, manifestation. Guys, I really love the way Cynthia has those things behind her. And yes, now
if you knew my story about why I read tarot cards right now, is it had to do with before my mom had passed away, the tarot cards started coming back in my life, and I go, oh no, because I was in a marriage that didn't believe in tarot, and I'm going, oh no, please, Lord, if you're going to bring the tarot into my life, please make sure that this is in good harmony. Make sure that give me a sign, show me that this is really what you want me to do. Up to today, I have at least 27 decks of cards that have been gifted to me, but almost right away after I prayed, almost right away, there were like, I would say 6 or 7 decks that just showed up at my doorstep from some, who knows where they even all came from, but it was the universe saying, hey, hear this, we want you to be doing it.
Very true. When you're supposed to be doing something, it appears to you right there. It comes. Now let's come to the fun part of the conversation. Do you mind if I throw a few questions that is quick, very quick?
I don't mind. I mean, you're already asking me a million questions.
I have been throwing all those conversations at you. So which is your favorite tarot deck? Mine is the Rider-Waite.
Well, I don't know that I have a oh yeah, I do have a favorite. It's the Everyday Witch.
Everyday Witch. Okay, the one that told you that I'm a lion-hearted.
No, not that one. That's a new deck. That one is called Love Your Inner Guidance. That's the one that had the lion.
Oh, Love Your Inner Guidance.
And this one came to me because of one of the families that I have worked on, that they had she had lost her husband to cancer, and she had 4 children, and it had been 3 years, and they were still grieving big time. And I went into their lives and helped them flip their stories around, so they started living their life instead of grieving their life. And this deck is because of that family.
Firstly, I'd like to tell you what a wonderful thing you're doing, dear Cynthia. What a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Flipping the lives of all those who are going through such tough times. Yes. Simply amazing. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now tell me, are you an outdoorsy person or you're an indoor person?
Yeah, I know you asked that question, and I was a little bit, I like a little bit of both.
I want to know more about your car, the car with a pink stripe. Isn't it that makes you go outdoor all the time?
Why I like to go outdoors is because that's how I get to meet people. If I don't step foot out of my house, I'm not going to meet people. And when I meet people, they're always telling me, oh, I like your vibes. But when it comes to activity outdoors, I like it when I go on the boat ride with my brother and he puts me back on his $300 inner tube and I get on that and he pulls me and I laugh and laugh and laugh because he's pulling me and I don't have to do nothing for this laughter to come out. So that's one of my favorite things to do outside. And then another thing that I like to do outside is I like taking my dog for a walk. But I don't really walk my dog. I'm dancing. I got my music on and I'm dancing. And so it don't matter where I'm at. I'm walking and dancing my dog. Or sometimes I don't have my dog and I'm dancing through the grocery store or dancing through wherever I'm going. And sometimes I'll have somebody like, they'll be staring at me for a little while and then all of a sudden they'll start laughing because they realize that I'm in love, I'm in harmony, I'm enjoying myself. And they only wish that they had that within themselves to be able to do too. So
I'm so glad you are spreading that kind of energy around. People around you are feeling so happy and they want to be in the same vibration what you are living today. Isn't it?
I want to gift whatever piece I can, even if it's a little bit, that they be able to feel it, to know what it is, so they know it's true, it's obtainable.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, who's a favorite person on this earth? Your favorite person?
Me.
That's awesome. That is wonderful. That's wonderful.
I have to hang out with me all the time, so I might as well be my favorite person, right?
Absolutely. That's fascinating too, quite fascinating.
I'm not a real idol person, I don't really, even if somebody's an actor or an actress or, anything, I don't idolize them. So, but I'm not even idolizing myself, but if I'm going to put that energy out on anybody, I'm going to put it into myself. Yay.
I love it, the way you're saying it.
Thank you.
And
it is about, it's a self-expression. It's not.
I understand it totally. I feel what you're saying. I'm actually feeling the way you're saying, because this is something which even I feel, the feeling of being, loving yourself to the core is a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling, wonderful feeling. And I actually can,
It's the best. When we're falling, I'm out here, my story that I sell, this is my story I sell, is my happy forever after story. I'm living my happy forever story right now with myself. I fell deeply and completely in love with myself, where I'm able to live my happy ever after story right now. Anything else that comes forward into my life is part of my happy ever after story. So, yes.
So amazing, dear. You're sending out such lovely vibes, Cynthia. I can't tell you. I want to feel that. I feel like hugging you, coming right there and giving you a huge, huge, huge hug. I'm sure my viewers here are able to get the wonderful vibes you are giving out.
I love hugs. I'm a hugger.
That's beautiful. That's marvelous. That's absolutely wonderful. And tell me, I've already asked you so many questions now. Perhaps you're tired by my questions.
No, I'm not.
I wanted to ask about your travel. What is that place that you find so magical that you would like to go, or some place that you love?
I've been to Hawaii a few times and I love it over there. I just think it's beautiful and I love getting in the ocean and just floating on top of the water.
Which place is it?
In Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's a beautiful place. And yes. And that's your favorite place. And tell me, if you are a foodie or if you're not even a foodie, tell us what food really, you love to eat and you have a taste for.
I guess if I say a favorite food, it would be an ice cold, juicy, sweet watermelon.
Oh, that's really, very summery And that sounds so good, so refreshing.
I just thought about this. What I loved the most as a child too, was watermelon. I remember eating watermelon, and I eat the seeds, and my mom would say, "Oh, you're going to grow a watermelon inside of you." And I go, "Good, then I won't have to go buy one,"
And you've got some watermelon colors on your hair as well. I so wished that I had some, on myself, but I simply managed to have some, here. That's okay.
It's all good.
Yes, it was a wonderful time talking to you, dear. And I am
Thank you.
so sure that my viewers here are having a wonderful time. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm sure if you liked this conversation with me and Cynthia, please click the like button, the share button. And not only that, you need to click on the bell button as well. And we will be coming back to you again and again. And I'm sure the manifestation techniques that Cynthia had to share with you, do follow them. Do try to follow as much as possible, and you'll see manifestation happening in your own lives. You will see what wonderful, wonderful things keep happening if you start believing in them. The way Cynthia has said, and the way Cynthia was talking about it. If you feel that you have missed out on something, go back to the session, go and hear it out, listen to it very carefully. There were many things that Cynthia has very secretly given out in this interview, in this conversation, and you will have a wonderful, wonderful time once again if you go back to it. Hear it once again.
Well,
Hi, Cynthia. Do you know, Cynthia, that I am also an author? I have written a book. This is Manifest Your Quest, the Power of You. Since I'm a manifestation and a performance coach, I don't know whether you know much about it or not.
I didn't know about your book, but what I do know is you are in the middle of manifesting. And I love that you have your show, because you're actually opening up my voice. And I'm sure you're opening up other people's voices, so we can actually spread this out there to the world, so they can learn how to manifest easier by trusting and believing who they are. And that's what you're doing by having this show. And now I'm getting those goosebumps, because I know how empowering what you're doing is, helping the world in another magical way. So everybody listen to her show, because she's got some manifestation skills that she's trying to teach you, because we can really have anything that we want. Just keep believing and trusting that it's on its way, and it will show up.
Thank you so much, dear. Such beautiful words. Lovely words, dear. And yes, if you want to manifest, you can manifest. Thank you so much, dear.
You're welcome.
And
remember to subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Yes, remember to subscribe to her channel.
Subscribe to my channel.
Yes, it helps boost her channel, and it helps get the message out there. Like it, because that also helps boost her channel up and get the message out there. And share it, because we definitely need to get the message out there.
Very true. Share it. And guys, I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook at Rashi Roop Laxmi, and Manifest Your Quest on Facebook. So if you really want these manifesting techniques and some wonderful takeaways, keep liking, subscribing, and sharing my channel. And thank you so much, Cynthia, for being here on my channel and I had a wonderful, wonderful time in this conversation.
Me too. And thank you so much for having me on your channel. I enjoyed the whole thing. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, dear. I wish that we can come back here again for some more wonderful, wonderful techniques that we can discuss as a tarot reader. Next time, I'm not going to interview. We are going to have a jam session, right?
That's right. We're going to jam it up.
Doing some tarot.
Where we're jamming it up with some really good stuff,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do that. Bye for now. Thank you so much, guys. that
Thank
you
you.
joined in here, and do subscribe, share, and like. Press the bell button. Bye bye. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Keep manifesting.